Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and install Arella.js. So Arella is a very awesome client for LavaLink, and we can use Arella to communicate with LavaLink and build out our music bot. So you're just going to go ahead and install Arella, npm I Arella.js. Alright, so there we go, and it's that simple. So they have a lot of documentation that you can take a look at, but we're just going to go ahead and go into, let's see, we're going to go inside bot.js. Now this is going to be an opinionated way on how we do this because we are following my current structure. Okay, but if you want, you can just look at your documentation and see how they're doing things, and you can just kind of like copy it. But what we want to do is we want to import the Arella client. So we're going to do that. So const Arella client. And hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Arella.js. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and inside this async function, we need to make sure we are logging the bot in first because we need to create a new instance of Arella client. So we're going to do client.music equals, and then we're going to do new Arella client. And this is going to take in the Discord bot client, and it's also going to take in an array of nodes. So I think you can have as many nodes as you want, but we're only going to have one node for now. And we're going to go inside my .env file, and this is where I'm going to put the information for my node. But like I said, but if you want, you can just put it in literally inside the object. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do, let's see, host. We'll do localhost port. So the port itself, remember, has to follow the application.yaml file. Okay, so port 7000. Password is going to be this thing. We're going to save. And now reference process.env.host. So remember, I'm using .env, and it's loading all of the environment variables from the .env file. So port and then password. Okay, so if everything goes well, then it should connect a node for us. Let's go ahead and listen to some events. So there is client.music, and there's actually a couple events that we can listen to. So let's just try node connect. Okay, so whenever a node is connected, so node connect, it's going to fire this event, and we're going to just log this to the console. So let's just see how everything goes so far. And you can see right over here, we have our node. See, it's an instance of a node. And you can see all of the data, all the properties. All right, now that's pretty much it for connecting to the LavaLink server that we have hosted on our locals right now. Obviously, if you had an error, it would tell you, like it's saying that invalid, value undefined for authorization. So, but if you do everything correctly, it should be just fine. Okay, and you can see right over here, it is trying to connect through a WebSocket to localhost 7000. So all this stuff is happening underneath the hood, but we don't have to worry about the abstract stuff. All right, so I don't want to just leave all of my events in here because if we look at the docs, we have a lot of events. Well, not really a lot. We only have 4. But I'm going to go and just put them in their own file just to separate everything. And we can easily just follow the same implementation of our event handler. So you can see right over here, we're registering our events from these folders. We're going to just create a new folder called music events. And I'm going to just make all the respective files. So we're going to do connect.js. So for connect.js, we're just going to expand our base event class. So we're going to go and do const base events equals require. We're going to go into utils, structures, base event, or base events. So if you haven't been following my MySQL Discord bot tutorial, I would highly suggest you go back and watch on how I structured everything. But we basically have this base event class, and we're going to go ahead and extend it. And we're going to do class node connect event extends base event. Okay, and for the constructor, we're going to go ahead and call the superclass constructor and pass in node connect. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and implement the run function. This is going to take in the client, but this client is going to be the music client, not the actual Discord client. Okay, and we're just going to do console log new node connected. So to actually get this to work, we need to implement a function that registers these music events. So we're going to go inside our utils register.js file, and I'm just going to copy literally all this and paste it because it's going to be the same thing, literally the same thing, but we're going to just name it register music events. Okay, now you don't have to do this. You can just, like I said, you can just put all of your events inside here and it'll work just fine. But there might be some other things that I want to do later on. So that's why I'm separating everything as much as I can. So now we need to import register music events. And we're going to go ahead and call that. And we're going to pass in client.music. So this is going to be the music client, not the Discord client, okay? Remember, our Arella client is assigned to this client.music object over here. So let's pass in the directory to read from. So that's going to be music events. Now if I save and if everything goes well, we shouldn't get an error. It's saying register event is not a function. Oh. Let me just make this look a bit nicer. Okay, let's save and okay, there we go. New node connected. See how we separated our event into its own file, and it works the same way as the event handler. Okay. All right. So now we can go ahead and implement the other events as well. So we have node error. So if something happens with the node, it's going to display this error. So if a track is started, it's going to emit this event. And if the queue ends, it's going to just do whatever we want to do. So there's a lot of stuff that we can actually do whenever these events are being emitted. So let's just go ahead and create those files. So we're going to do, let's see, error.js. So we're just going to copy the same thing. We have node error. So we're going to have to pass in node error. And we're going to change this to node error events. And we're just going to go ahead and log an error has occurred. And then you can just also do, let's see. Okay, and we can log the error to the console, so error.message. Okay. And then track start. So let's go ahead and implement track start. So start.js. And we are just going to copy the same thing and just change things up a little bit. So we're just going to copy the same thing and change things up a little bit. So this is going to be, let's see, track start events. And we're going to pass in track start to superclass. And we're going to pass in track start into the superclass constructor. And we're just going to go ahead and do. So for this event, it's going to give us the player as well as the track. And I'll talk a little bit more about it. Okay. But for now, we're just going to just copy the documentation's code. All right, there we go. And now let's implement the last event, which is QEnd. Or end.js, okay. Okay, cool. So QEnd, and then we're just gonna go ahead and, let me just get rid of this. And let's just paste it in here. All right, awesome. So we have all of our events set up and they should all be registered just fine. Okay, so now whenever we are connected to a node, it's going to emit the connect event. Okay, whenever a track, whenever a song is being played, or when it first starts playing, it's going to send a message to the text channel. It's going to say now playing track title. Whenever the queue ends, it's going to say queue has ended, and it's going to destroy the music player. Okay, and if an error happens, it's going to say an error has occurred. Okay, so I know a lot of stuff is going to seem really weird, but like I said, you kind of just need to follow a little bit along. But in the next video, we're going to go ahead and actually start implementing the music commands and working with the Arella client. Okay, so I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.